Hello friends, welcome back to my channel for the collaboration of all collaborations. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a collab with many different weight loss and Weight Watchers YouTubers, and we are all discussing our top 5 Weight Watchers friendly meals. For those of you that are new to my channel, hello, my name is Brianna and I am the diva of Diva and the Divine, and my channel centers around content that's primarily health and wellness based, but I do like to dabble in all of the other things in life. I like to dabble a little bit in faith, a little bit in beauty, a lot in lifestyle. I am a stay-at-home housewife with no children, and I do have a disability that impacts the way I live life on a daily basis, and this channel is a place where I openly talk about all of those elements of my life. The goal of my channel is always to encourage, educate, motivate, and inspire. So if you are new here, welcome. I am so very happy to have you. Basically, what this is going to be is I have the link to every channel that's doing the collab down below. Check out their videos after you're done watching this video, and you'll basically have a solid meal plan for, oh, I don't know, months. I mean, I don't know exactly how many of us there are, but if we're each doing 5, that's a lot of meals. That is a lot of meals. So get your notebook ready, get ready to take some awesome notes, get some great ideas, and then you will be free to cook and meal prep to your heart's content with some solid favorite Weight Watchers friendly meals. I opted to do meals that I typically eat in the evening, and it's meals that I will cook for my husband and myself. These are things that he loves just as much as I do for the most part. So without further ado, we're just gonna jump in super quick, and I'm going to tell you my top 5 Weight Watchers friendly meals. Number 1 is actually something that I started doing very recently, and I am in love with this food combination. So what it is cauliflower gnocchi from Trader Joe's and chicken sausage all sauteed up in the same pan and then topped with some beautifully delicious full-fat regular Parmesan cheese. Oh my word, it is to die for. Now, the way that I cook this is you take the Trader Joe's gnocchi, do not microwave the Trader Joe's gnocchi because it turns into mush and it's disgusting. You have to cook it right if you want it to taste good. And the 2 ways I have found to cook this appropriately are in the air fryer and in a pan with a little bit of oil. Full disclosure, I do not track the little bit of oil when I put oil in the pan, or if you really want to stay completely technically on plan, you can use some non-stick cooking spray too. But what I do is I start to brown the gnocchi first. 1 serving of the gnocchi is 3 points, both in points plus and smart points. And then I will take something like the Gilbert's sausage caprese sausages, and I'll just take 1 link if it's just me, or 2 or 3, however much I need to make for me and my husband. But if it's just me, it's 1 serving of gnocchi and 1 sausage, which is also 3 points on either plan. And I will cut it up into little, little circles, just slice it up. And then once the gnocchi is about done, I'll throw that in there as well. And the caprese flavor is a great tomato, basil, mozzarella flavor. And I just love the Italian seasonings. So I'll let that get all brown and hot and cooked through. And it's so good. My husband bought some really fancy Parmesan cheese, like a solid block of real, rich isn't the right word, pungent? Like, it is the strongest Parmesan cheese I've ever had in my life. And while you can only eat it in like little bitty bites because it's like, whoa, intense, I got the idea to actually bust out our grater and I grated some on top of this dish. Oh, it just took it to the next level, and it was so good. And it was 6 points for the dish itself, and then an extra point for the cheese. Pro tip, while an ounce of this cheese was 3 points, shredding it, grating it, makes you use a whole lot less cheese, but it still covers the surface and gives just enough of the cheesy flavor that you can enjoy the full fat Parmesan cheese for only 1 or 2 points, depending on how much you put in there. And then I will, of course, steam some vegetables. So I'll have a whole half a plate of steamed vegetables, which is 0. And then I will have my dish, which would be 6 or 7 points with the cheese. Oh my gosh, so good. You must try it. Meal number 2 is a soup, and it is from one of my favorite Weight Watchers friendly blog resources, and that is Emily Bites. Emily Bites has this soup that my sister has made for quite some time now, and it is the creamy chicken and wild rice soup. And if you are a fan of cream of chicken soup, which we know as we would go out on Sundays when we were growing up after church, we'd go out for lunch, and every restaurant we went to on a Sunday had creamy chicken soup as their soup of the day. And it was delightful, but it's so fatty and so not good for you. Good for the soul, not good for the body. This soup is just as good, or dare I say even better than the original soup. And it is 6 points for a cup, and it is just as creamy. Like, you do not feel like you are eating a diet soup at all. At all, I swear to you, it is delicious, and I made it for the first time myself. Usually my sister makes it and I just steal it from her. I made it for the first time myself. It was a little bit time consuming, but it was not hard, even though you had to make like the thickening roux thing in a separate pot. Like, it took some steps, but I was pretty impressed that it turned out so good. And I ended up making a double batch. It was huge. It was perfect. It was so good. Only 6 points, and oh, you have got to give it a try. So the link to that recipe over on Emily Bites blog will be down below. Check her out. She has amazing, amazing recipes. Favorite meal number 3 can be a meal, a lunch, a snack. This is what you need to satisfy your pizza craving. A pita pizza. Super simple. 3 ingredients, or as complicated as you want to make it, but the essential ingredients are as follows. You need 1 Joesph's pita bread. Why Joesph's pita bread? Because it's high fiber. Can't remember if it's high protein. I'll insert a picture of it right here. It is a good pita bread for on Smart Points. If my memory serves me correctly, you'll have to forgive me. I'm following Points Plus right now. I have been for quite some time. I think it's only 1 point for 1. And I think it's 3 points for 2 in Smart Points. And on Points Plus, it is 2 points for 1, 3 points for 2 pitas. For 1 or 2 points, you get this pita bread. And it is a sizable pita bread. It is personal pita bread, but it is still sizable. And then you need a spaghetti sauce or a red sauce of some kind. If you play by my rules, any spaghetti sauce that does not have anything other than vegetable and vegetable products in it is 0 points. That is how I run things in my life. So the organic spaghetti sauce from Aldi does in fact fit into that. It's all vegetables. There's no oils or anything in it. So I count it as 0 points, which means the sauce is 0. You can also make your own Freestyle friendly sauce for 0 points as well. And then of course you need a cheese, and that cheese is going to be none other than the Trader Joe's Lite mozzarella. Now, you take those 3 ingredients, and what I do is I pop my pita into the air fryer. This is an air fryer pizza for me, people. Air fryer makes it happen super fast. You can cook it in the oven. I can't tell you what temperatures or for how long because I've always used the air fryer. Take the plain pita, throw it in the air fryer, and I fry it up on 400 for 3 minutes just to get it a little bit crispier and to give it a head start in that area. Then I will take it out, put on the sauce, put on 1 point of cheese, and then I will pop it back in the air fryer at like 350, 375 for 3 minutes or so, and just keep an eye on it because it will go from perfectly like browned and golden cheese to burnt real fast if you're not careful. But when you're done, you pull it out of the air fryer and you get like this, oh, it's the perfect colored cheese. You know what I'm talking about. Like the perfect pizza cheese color. It is so good. It satisfies the pizza craving like you would not believe. It is only 2 or 3 points. Can you believe that? 2 or 3 points. 2 Smart Points, 3 points plus for an entire personal pizza that will certainly satisfy your pizza craving. And being a Chicago girl myself, I have a lot of pizza cravings. So that is definitely one of my top Weight Watchers meals of all time. All time. My next favorite meal is less of a specific recipe and more of a formula for the dinner that I typically make in my house on a given weekend. And that formula is lean protein plus carbohydrate plus 0 point steamed vegetable equals meal. This is something that I do every single weekend in one capacity or another. And what we will do is we will typically take something like, it's usually chicken breast. I'm not gonna lie, usually chicken breast, but occasionally it will be fish or maybe the occasional pork, or sometimes we use those chicken sausages as just the regular dish without me like cutting it up and getting all fancy. We'll just make chicken sausages, and then you move on to the carbohydrate based dish. Now if we wanted to be really healthy, we would typically make something like quinoa. Pro tip with the quinoa, here is your tip for the day. Do not cook your quinoa in water. If you are doing it for savory purposes, say a side dish to a meal, cook your quinoa in chicken broth, because it gives it just that little extra depth of flavor and a little extra savoriness, and it is so stinking good, and just gives it a little bit more life. Now, if you are going to be using the same quinoa that you made for dinner for breakfast quinoa, maybe not the best idea and stick to cooking it in water, but I promise you cooking your quinoa in chicken broth will change your life. So for being really healthy, we can do quinoa, but we've done a lot of other things. I have made macaroni and cheese. Our favorite thing to do is the gnocchi alla gorgonzola from Trader Joe's. As you guys know, that is one of my absolute favorite items in the entire store. Not Weight Watchers friendly. For a serving, it is 6 points plus and 9 smart points, but oh my goodness, it's so good it doesn't even matter. I promise you that. It's cheesy and just, it's like macaroni and cheese for adults, basically, is what I think of it as. It's so good. So we have our lean meat, we have our gnocchi alla gorgonzola, or our quinoa, or our brown rice mixture, or something to that effect. And then we have steamed vegetables, which is 0. So in terms of points, depending on what you do to the meat, this could be a very Weight Watchers Freestyle friendly thing as well, because you only pay for the carbs. And then with the lean protein, I only end up paying somewhere between 2 and 5 points plus for the meat. And then let's say I'm eating the gnocchi, 6 points for the carb, which is 11 points at max for the meal. But you know what? For a dinner, for a good, hearty, filling dinner, and that's what I look for in my meals. I want something that's going to keep me full for the rest of the night. I don't want to keep going to the kitchen for nighttime snacking. The focus here for me is the more I can fill up on good dinner, the less likely I am to snack at the end of the night. So the carbohydrate is meant to help me with that. If I feel like I have treated myself to a delicious, a little bit cheesy, a little bit awesome carbohydrate dish, then I feel satisfied and can move on because I have the filling, volumizing vegetables, the craving satisfying and still healthy for you-ish carbohydrate, and then the heavy protein in the lean meat dish. So that formula, lean meat, carbohydrate, and steamed vegetable, is probably the #1 thing that shows up on my dinner plates on any given week. And then my #1 Weight Watchers friendly meal, and this is probably quite literally my #1 meal. I get so excited when I make this, and it is so very easy, and that is my turkey chili. And it is so good and really, really simple. It's a crock pot recipe. You brown your meat, you put all the ingredients in the crock pot, and you can leave it, and dinner is done, and it is glorious. I just made this recipe this past week, and I filmed it for you. So if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit subscribe because that recipe is going to be hitting this channel by the end of this coming week. So stay on the lookout for that because you guys, this chili is life-changing. It is so good and it's so simple. And it is a recipe that I think my dad got from my grandma, and then my sister started cooking and changed a couple things, and then she passed her recipe on to me, and I kind of tweaked with things just a little bit and came up with this recipe that is now my tried and true recipe, and it's fabulous, and it's very, very lean, which is awesome. I use ground turkey in my chili, and I just did the calculations. For the recipe that I just made, it yielded 12 cups. On Points Plus, it is 3 points plus a cup. On Freestyle, the last time I checked, this was 2 points for a cup. Yeah, so good. And then I will take that chili and I will top it with some cheese. You can go 0 point cheese and do fat-free cheddar, or you can add 1 or 2 points and use real, like, full fat cheddar, which is what I prefer to do because that's a little bit more filling and delicious to me. And you have a cup and a half is 5 points plus some cheese is 2, so 7 points plus for a delicious, filling, hearty, comforting turkey chili dinner. Oh my gosh, I am now thinking about the fact that the chili is in the fridge. So good. It is so good. So like I said, that recipe will be coming to you on probably Friday this week. So stay tuned and make sure you're subscribed for that. And those are my top 5 Weight Watchers friendly meals. Whether you are on Points Plus like me or following Freestyle like the Weight Watchers world, these meals could apply to you either way. As I mentioned earlier, this is a collab video, and there's a long list of lovely ladies that have decided to create their very own top 5 Weight Watchers friendly meals video today too, and I highly recommend you go check them out because you will just end up with so much variety. I can't wait to go and look because it might encourage me to go try some new recipes because I'm not even joking, these 5 recipes make up most of what I make on any given week. So on that note, make sure you go and check out some of the other lovely ladies down below, and thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch.